Hey guys, Olive here. Today I'd like to do another discussion video. I got such a good response to my discussion videos on book hauls and book haul hates. If you have not yet seen that, I will leave a link to it down below. I got so many thoughtful and interesting responses to that video. I had so much fun discussing book hauls and people's opinions on book hauls in the comment section of that video. I just had such a good time with it that I really wanted to make another based on something else that I have noticed on Booktube. I'm thinking about making this a regular series. Let me know if you like that idea down below. Today's discussion video will be centering on opinions, apologizing for one's own opinions, people not being okay with having differing opinions. This is just something I've really noticed on Booktube. I noticed at the beginning of a lot of people's unpopular opinions tag videos that they were putting a disclaimer out there saying, you know, these are just my opinions, I'm not trying to trash anybody else's favorite thing, almost apologizing for the opinions being put out in the unpopular opinion book tag. I totally get why booktubers did this at the beginning of their videos. If you on the internet put out an opinion that is not widely accepted, you get a less than positive response back sometimes. By no means is this exclusive to the Booktube community. It seems as though that on the internet, we have a big problem with people having different opinions. This is a huge topic, but I'm going to try to center it on Booktube as much as possible. When I see people apologizing for the opinions that they're putting out there on the internet, I have a lot of questions about the people that they're hoping to not offend. I have to wonder why people care so much that somebody else out there in the world has a different opinion about something that that person may love. Do we think the value of something we love is diminished by someone else having a negative opinion of it? Or do we just want everyone to love something we love? Do we think that loving it and having a positive opinion on it makes it good and therefore no one else should have a negative opinion? These are some of the questions I'm going to explore in this video. First of all, I think it's really important to say, and as a lot of booktubers say in their disclaimer portions of the videos I was talking about, opinions are just opinions. They are not facts. They are completely subjective, often totally biased, and very changeable. I don't know about you, but my opinions have changed drastically over the years. As I change, my opinions change. People are not stagnant, and neither are opinions. We get older, our perspectives change, go through new experiences that broaden our worldview. Our opinions change. Also, just because someone doesn't like something you like or has a different opinion from you doesn't mean that one of you has to be wrong and one of you has to be right. Both of you can be right in your own specific ways, and you both are entitled to feel exactly how you want about that thing. This would be a very boring world if we all had the same opinions about the same things. I think we should be encouraging differing opinions because it makes for great discussion, it makes us think more critically about the things that we are looking at and talking about. Plus, it's just more interesting when people have different viewpoints. I think as long as everyone is being respectful to one another in a conversation, I encourage as much disagreement on opinions as possible. I think every differing opinion that you have with someone is a learning experience. The person from whom you have a differing opinion is coming from a completely different standpoint. They have, like I said, different perspectives, different experiences that you could learn something from by hearing their opinion out. I think we as people are often very caught up in being right and having the right opinion, and we lose the opportunity to learn from other people when we do that. You don't have to be enemies with someone because you believe something different than them. Like I was saying in my intro, I think part of the problem might be that people feel as though their opinion of something is less valid if someone disagrees with them, or vice versa. A person thinks that another person's opinion is not valid because he or she disagrees with that person. I think maybe people don't understand that one person doesn't have to be wrong and one person doesn't have to be right. I don't think people understand that differing opinions are totally natural. And I don't think people understand that hearing someone that you respect talk negatively about something that you personally loved doesn't mean that you then have to dislike it. Or vice versa, you don't have to love something because someone else does. Every person's opinion, regardless of that person's stature, is still an opinion. My opinion on opinions is that we all need to be confident enough in our beliefs to be able to hear someone have a differing opinion and yet still be able to remain steadfast, while at the same time remaining open-minded enough to hear somebody else's perspective and be able to change your mind. There is a way to be confident in your opinions while still being open-minded to new ideas. So why is this such an issue on Booktube? I think we're seeing an issue on Booktube of people being less tolerant of differing opinions because a good portion of Booktube is a younger audience. I think 13 to 17 is the predominant age range of the viewership of Booktube because a lot of Booktube talks about YA. Now, I'm not talking smack on the younger viewers at all. I simply think that because these people are younger, they haven't had the time or the life experience to learn some of the things that I've talked about before. I certainly didn't know all of those things when I was 13 to 17 years old. Plus, the teenage brain is a very different place. I know mine certainly was. And when you are a teenager, you are much more susceptible to what others think. Again, I'm not blaming them. This is just something you learn as you start growing up. I think there's also a developing trend on the internet in general, which is people becoming way attached to the media that they're consuming to the point where they view it as an extension of themselves. There was recently a whole drama / movement on Twitter that I am happy has been extinguished for the most part. I am not going to name it by name here or in the comments, but the Reader's Digest version is that a group of people were criticizing a certain form of media. It was not being respectful, representative, or kind to a specific portion of the audience. The people who are not part of this marginalized group took major offense to it because they could not handle seeing their favorite form of media be criticized. I think this is a really big problem because I think no matter what we are consuming, we need to be critical of it. I think it can become dangerous when you start seeing your favorite forms of media becoming a portion of yourself and representative of who you are. People are definitely saying, I love this thing, therefore it's part of who I am, it represents me. And they start seeing these forms of media as perfect and untouchable. You can love something and still be critical of it. Everyone and everything has flaws. Perfection is not an attainable state. And just because you love something doesn't mean that everybody else has to. And it certainly doesn't mean that other people are not allowed to criticize something that you love. As I will probably end up saying in every discussion video I make ever, I think we all need to take things a little less seriously. This is Booktube, not the war room. Insert no fighting in the war room joke here. We are all here on Booktube because we love books. We all have that in common, but we really need to remember that all of us are very different. We all come from different places, we're from all over the world, we have differing worldviews and differing opinions. Our feelings toward books and different media are all going to be very different because of that. Your opinions as an individual are valid and meaningful, and you should totally be confident in them. However, the same applies to the person next to you, or in this case, the person sitting across the internet from you. We all need to respect other people's opinions, not give them hate because they have a differing opinion from us. We all need to respect our own opinions enough to remain steadfast in them, even when we hear someone that we admire and respect have a different opinion about that thing. But most of all, I think we need to respect ourselves enough to give ourselves the chance to change our minds. Remain open. Hear other people's opinions. Don't shut them out just because they're talking negatively about something you love or you just disagree with them in general. So that was today's discussion video. As always, I really want to hear your opinions on this. Please sound off in the comments below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, and the link to my Goodreads is in the down bar if you would like to be friends. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.